Congratulations on the film.
Thank you so much.
There's been quite a few Churchill films, but I mean, when you started your research, what was it that stood out about him and his story in this particular moment in time that kind of grabbed you and made you want to write a screenplay?
The first sort of entry point for me was the realization that three of the greatest speeches of all time had been written by Winston within a 3-week period, and I thought, why was he compelled to dig so deep and rise so high with these speeches? And it turns out it was nothing less than the collapse of Western Europe and massive internal domestic pressure to do a peace deal with Adolf Hitler, which I didn't know anything about. And I thought, well, that's a movie, and someone's got to tell that. And the more research I did, it was a different Winston that kept emerging from the research. A man who doubted himself, who changed his position all the time. That's not the Winston that we're given. We're told he was this iconic man who brooked no doubt, who only had one speed, and it was fast forward, and one cry, and it was, fight them. But he really seriously entertained the idea of a peace deal with Adolf Hitler, and took steps towards that before changing his mind. And that's kind of the idea, is that we need leaders who are capable of thinking they might be wrong, who can change their minds.
Absolutely. I mean, there's a great pedigree in this film, not just in front of the camera, but also behind as well. I mean, it must have been great to work with, I think, Working Title, and then Joe Wright again, who's done some amazing films. I mean, it must have been a great experience for you to be in amongst so many creative people.
No, dream team. I mean, I went to the set every day, and I'm also a producer on it, but I was really there as a fan. And also, I was a student, and I was watching Gary work, and I was watching Joe work, and they would just defy my understanding of how you put a scene together and how you achieve a performance. They're geniuses, and I was humbled and excited to be involved.
And just with regards to Gary, I mean, it's a fantastic performance. I mean, it's tremendous.
Yeah.
When you saw that for the first time and saw him in his prosthetics and everything else, I mean, what was your reaction to when you saw it for the first time? Yeah,
we had the read-through, and everybody just shows up in their jeans and t-shirts, and Gary walks in full prosthetics, so it isn't Gary. Winston Churchill came to the read-through, and we were all just completely reverential. And then he didn't say a word as Gary Oldman. He said everything as Winston Churchill. It was spooky in a really good way. Very cool.
Yeah, and he's got a Golden Globe nomination today,
he has,
which
indeed.
is fantastic. Well deserved, indeed. Just finally, I wanted to ask you, I know you worked for Theory of Everything and then with this, and you've worked on Bohemian Rhapsody as well, the Queen biopic. I mean, what sort of story are you telling with that movie, and what can we expect from the movie when it comes out next year?
Freddie's story is a wonderful rags to riches, an immigrant boy who really created not just a rock star, but a legend. The problem was finding an antagonist. Who was he going up against? Well, it turns out he was going up against himself. He had demons, he had doubts, and he had the immigrant boy in him was at war with the iconic legend. There was a kind of civil war raging inside him. And that's the kind of story we have to tell. And I think it's one a lot of people will identify with.
Yeah. Just finally, I want to ask you, I've seen the photo of Rami Malek, similar to Gary, in the sense that you don't really see Rami Malek, you see Freddie Mercury in that photo. I mean, when you saw him as Freddie, it must have been a similar experience, I can imagine.
Similar, we're having a good run with these people who are just, it's not performances, it's complete sort of metamorphosis. They transmogrify into these other people. They're a wonderful breed of person and actor. I'm in awe of them.
Fantastic. Yeah. Listen, I hope you have a great evening. Thanks so much for your time.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey You Guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yes.
Nice.